Saturday, obviously college football. We have a new number one, right?
Yep.
In Texas, jumping Georgia, and for good reason. Georgia barely escaped Kentucky 13-12. 13-12. Kentucky's unranked. So the transfer portal.
Crazy.
Here's the thing: transfer portal might be telling me more than one thing. Not just that these guys maybe don't want to compete, or it's a money thing. They're going to go to another school to make more money, because that's a lot of it now. Is I might be able to play here, but I'm going to go there and they're going to give me more money, and I'm going to play. So you're going to have a lot of these people transferring. I'm wondering if the parity is becoming stronger and stronger with some of these teams, because they do have boosters. There's incredibly rich people that went to the University of Kentucky. Yeah. There's incredibly rich people that went to Georgia Tech and things of that nature. So I'm wondering if some of this has to do with these tough games being you have. Now, granted, I know some play down to their opponents, like Mississippi State paying over $1 million to get stomped by Toledo at home. Mm-hmm. Like things like that happen, which is always lovely to see. But I wonder if there is just more parity in college football because of that. I was just thinking about that right now. Like maybe there is.
Well, yeah. What I was going to say is I don't wonder. I think it's true.
Well,
like you've been saying it week after week that there's more parity I think in football in general. You've been saying that about the NFL, about college football, and it seems true. And of course, the transfer portal has to be one of the big reasons. And boosters, why would you go? Oh man, I was going to make a Cam Newton joke, but why would you switch schools to a smaller school otherwise for playing time and money? Right. So,
Absolutely.
That's definitely happening. And, some of these schools and so these coaches are mad that their fifth string quarterback isn't a 5-star guy willing to sit anymore. But, we have parity throughout the league. The playoff's going to be amazing because of it. Florida State has seen that live firsthand 3 weeks in a row. It's definitely real that parity is more prevalent in college football.
Absolutely. And so let's get into this real quick, because Texas obviously on the trajectory of a hockey stick. I mean, they're to the moon right now.
Yeah.
With what they did with stomping a mud hole in the University of Michigan, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
The week before, to have them playing this week, to have Quinn Ewers go down.
Right.
And for the prodigal son that is Arch Manning to come in looking like granddad, playing the way he did, threw 5. So he had 5 touchdowns. He threw 4, ran for 1.
Yep.
And I think the one was like 75 yards, if I'm not mistaken. The yards might be, it was 120 yards. It was something like that. But, I mean, to be able to do what he was doing, and it looks like Quinn might be down for a few weeks. So that's going to lead to Arch starting next week and the week after. And then who knows what happens. You ride the hot hand, Well,
it sounds like it'll be a conversation for at least one more week. Quinn is, I don't think he's considered out. He's questionable.
It's a non-contact injury, so that's always scary. But if it's not season ending already, then yeah, he's probably going to be okay.
As I like to call him.
Steve Sarkiasian.
Yeah, Sarkiasian, as I always butcher. That's what he said. Hey, when you see the report on Monday, he's going to be listed as questionable, right? Week to week type of thing. But either way, he also said when Arch comes in, nothing changes. And that's true, because he really is that, high caliber prospect. And, shout out to Arch for never leaving. He could have hit the transfer portal,
absolutely,
knowing Quinn was in front of him, but he stuck strong. He also said, we've seen a lot of growth in Arch since like his original, what do they call them? The spring games,
right?
His first ever spring game. Again, like this kid has been hyped. He's been one of the top, what is it? I always say NAU, but NIL. He's been one of the top NIL guys since he was a rookie, not even playing. So even his spring game, people watched that game. He went 5 of 13 for 30 yards.
Right.
And so he's come a long way. Shout out to him for sticking with Texas. He showed us that speed. He showed us his arm. Again, who did they play? Do you even know? Like it was a lesser, but it was not Michigan. They stomped the hole in Michigan. There's reasons let's not overreact to Arch's debut, but it was still fun to see. And I think, the talking point of his speed, that was a huge talking point.
Absolutely.
You did not see that in his uncles.
No, you didn't. But his dad being the one, Cooper Manning, he was a receiver. He took after, I know he said he takes after his mother and all this stuff, but they're all wanting to deflect and be humble, and that's all. But, go back and look at the highlights, man. Archie Manning was a freak.
Yeah.
So it stands to reason that,
we could tie all these
might have
conversations
skipped a generation, but who cares?
Right.
Like the kid can sling the ball and he has some wheels.
And
for now, he's still way too small to be doing that in the NFL.
Right.
So he's going to put on some man meat, and that's going to change, but yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, his grandpa, if you're like, if you know a lot about football history, you know about him, but he wasn't able to switch teams either back in the day. So, if he was and could have gone to a winner, Archie Manning might be more known because he was a freak athlete. He had the
100%.
arms, he had the legs, not arms, but he had the arm, he had the legs. And you're seeing that with his grandson. And it's pretty cool to watch. But I also wanted to talk about Steve Sarkiasian. He had a story about so late in that game, they were winning by a lot. They're up a lot. His son got in the game. So his son's like a 6'2" linebacker. And he said when that happened, when his son got in the game, he took the headset off because he didn't want to hear the play call.
Right.
He didn't want to hear the call at all. He just wanted to enjoy the game as a father.
That's
so
really
I thought
awesome.
that was a really cool story.
That's really awesome.
Speaking of the father-son connection of football with the Mannings, but the Sarkiasians as well. I thought that was a great story.